advisor. Hang tight with us for one moment. I want to give her just a second. Yes.
Out of father.
Yeah.
Ever met anybody?
The KM Rain Garden ribbon cutting ceremony. My name is time out of your day. This is a great is thank everybody for our kids who are no longer kids, they're alumni from Kent-Meridian High School now. These young adults to develop some leadership skills and show just them students on doing this. Two very special people.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming out to the official ribbon cutting of Kent-Meridian High School Rain Garden and Cistern. A grant and allocated funds. We were awarded $35,000 for this beautiful ecosystem that features 2 rain gardens and a cistern. Rain gardens are gardens that are indented into the market so that drain. We are collecting from both sides of this roof for a total of 33,000 square feet and anticipate 1,800 gallons of water for every inch of rain. Here, and in 10 years, that's 26. So we originally had the environment.
Now that you guys know some of the... So, Alicia and I were walking around like the Kent-Meridian High School campus when suddenly like a water treatment division and a garden. We wanted a place for students to have a space for community, for science. We also want to have and curate hope that we could do. But when we were awarded the grant money, ecstatic does not even come close to the feeling I had. I was doing cartwheels. We suddenly had some resources to build Kent-Meridian's very own rain garden, but that was definitely easier said than done. Building this garden and cistern was not easy for us. We don't even know how to write a grant. We didn't even know what the process even begun to look like. But as we continued to work on the grant and cistern, more people joined the effort, and suddenly the goals and intent of the rain garden gently evolved into something more than we could have ever actually hoped for. The garden went from this dream project to a collective effort carried out by determined students and environment and our community. Now, I'm a junior at the University of Washington, a little old. So this has been 3 years working on the Kent-Meridian Rain Garden Cistern. Now we are here at one of my ultimate bragging rights. Speaking of students, I will hand off this mic to the true leader of this project, Alicia.
I got involved after Risa brought the idea to the environmental club. Over time, it became about the love for the environment and science, accessibility of green space, building something as a school, and fostering resiliency. The Environmental Club of 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 went in on their input for this garden. They planted, designed, and more. I was able to see the impact that this rain garden idea had on all the students and the teachers that wanted to get involved. We stressed, we cried, we put so much hope into this rain garden, and today it is built. For the future of the rain garden, the teachers, environmental club, students of KM, and virtually anybody that walks through school doors will keep this rain garden going with learning materials and maintenance and being proud of what's here. The spirit of the garden, however, will ultimately be up with up to this community here with us today and the future people of KM. Next, I would like to introduce our mayor, who herself is a Kent-Meridian High School alumni.
Thank you. So Alicia and Risa, I'm going to start with just a huge thank you for taking that leap of faith. When you mentioned the magical part, I thought we were going to talk about unicorns, because that's what I think of when I think of magical. So I'm going to start with saying go Royals. I cannot kick this off without the nice shout out to my home and the place that raised me and made me a good citizen of the city, and a little history. So this used to be a movie theater. And now it's this beautiful learning space. I mean, I think maybe some of us learned things at the movie theater, but probably definitely more going on now. As I was listening to both of you talk about this, and I read some of the background material that was sent, I had so many words that came to my mind, right? Leap of faith, resilience. You built this through a global pandemic. Right, all of the things, if there were stumbling blocks, they probably have presented themselves in the last 3 years, and you persevered and you were willing to take that chance. But more than that, it's because you're thoughtful and dedicated and committed to your school community, to our environment, and to the community at large. So you've got to give yourself credit for all of that work, because it wouldn't happen if it weren't for you. Seeking out the partners that we have here today, getting the buy-off of your the leaders here at the school district, the principal, the school board, all of that. Those are all steps that are involved, and you guys tackled all of that. And then I'm listening to you talk about the science behind this. And there's an amazing amount of science behind a rain garden and what that means, and the pollinator aspect, and the recycling of the stormwater, all of those things. And you've taken on the learning of all of that and left a gift that is going to be giving to the school and the community for generations to come. So you need to be really, really proud of the work that you've done. The city of Kent is growing, it's continuing to grow, and it is urbanizing, and we have fewer and fewer spaces that allow for this kind of activity, and it takes purposeful action to make things like this happen. It's a whole lot easier just to pave things. Looking at my friend who was the first de-paver in the city of Kent, but it takes practice, it takes initiative, and it takes commitment, and you all have shown that to the community. It would have been a whole lot easier to do something else or do nothing at all. So I am grateful for the initiative, for the taking the time to make this a better place, and providing opportunities for future students to explore science and environmental careers. I think that's the other inspiration that comes with this kind of work, is you're going to have people coming by and asking questions, and it does provide that opportunity for people to go into those careers that will help protect our planet and make it a better place. So I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you have done for the school, for the environment, for our community, your persistence, and sticking with it even when you're not, you're moving on. So congratulations on this work. Thank you to everyone that's been involved, in all of the partners, and I'm really proud to be a Royal. You guys make that legacy continue. So congratulations. Are we calling up Councilmember Upthegrove now? Bring up my friend Councilmember Upthegrove, King County Council.
Thank you. Well, the mayor is always a tough act to follow. It's always a pleasure to share the stage with you, and to Superintendent Vela and Principal Bradford. Thank you for welcoming us to Kent-Meridian. My name is Dave Upthegrove. I am the elected King County Council member for this area, and Lord knows if I'm any good at it, but I have this cool last name, Upthegrove, so people keep voting for me. I'm under no illusions. It was 1990, and I was on campus at the University of Colorado studying environmental science. And that day I was volunteering for our campus environmental group, doing a 2-hour shift at a table in our student union building. And we were educating students about the cruel and inhumane use of steel jaw leg hold traps, those traps that snap at animals, and it felt like I was sort of wasting my time. It was pretty quiet, but then along comes this young woman. She had long blonde hair and a hippie skirt, and she stopped, and she picked up that old rusty trap and looked at it, and she signed up for our club. And we became friends. She eventually became president of the student club, and then we lost touch after graduation. 8 years later, when I was back home here in Washington, I got a phone call out of the blue, and it was her, and her name was Catherine, and it turns out after graduation, she went to work for a national conservation organization, putting ballot measures, citizen initiatives on the ballot in state after state around the country. And that year she was here in Washington State running a citizen ballot initiative that passed, that has forever banned the use of steel jaw leg hold traps in Washington State. And that's the power that each and every one of you have. You have a voice, you can take action, and sometimes it feels like it doesn't make a difference, and you don't always see the difference it makes, but it does. And it's so important, particularly the next generation. Use your voice, take those actions because they do make a difference and create a better world. I think we all have come to understand the connection between environmental health and social justice in a community. We know who suffers the most from pollution. It's those who have the least. It's the most diverse communities. And when you take a look around Kent-Meridian, or you take a look around anywhere in South King County, you see people of different races, different national origins, different ages, different income levels. And in South King County, our diversity is our strength. And we're so fortunate to live in a country and a community that holds the promise of freedom and opportunity for everyone. But sadly, that promise has not yet been fulfilled. We haven't reached our full potential. Women, for example, make about 85 cents on the dollar compared to men. Women of color even less. People with disabilities like my father see their transportation services cut first when budgets are tight. Those of us who are gay or lesbian have to fight at the ballot box for basic human rights. People who are low income often feel disconnected from a political process that's so dominated by money. Women and racial minorities comprise 55% of the workforce, yet make up only 10% of the CEOs of corporations. I believe that all people, regardless of our differences, have value, have something to contribute, and deserve equal rights and fair treatment. Those are our values, and that's why we're here, to create a cleaner and healthier world for everybody and to bring everyone together in the process. So I am so proud of Alicia and Risa for what you have built for us here today. The support you're seeing today is a testament to your work. We're joined also by Kent City Council member Brenda Fincher. I see members of the school board, Board of Directors Joe Bento and Leslie K. Hamada. To have these prominent community leaders come and show their thanks and support speaks volume. And I can't wait to see what both of you do next. I know as we look to the future, I'd like to be a part of building on the work you've done, and I can commit to helping secure funds if the school is interested for signage and interpretation. If you think there's some value in doing that, I'd like to help deliver some more of those councilmatic funds. So not only will you be making a difference for the next generation, but people will be able to learn from it and understand what the difference is. So huge congratulations to you both and to the school. And I'm not sure who I turn it over to next. Oh, it's back to the leaders of the hour.
And then you'll hang up.
Before we end off, we just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for listening and coming out. We want to thank those at the Waterworks program like Elizabeth Loudon, Chris Johnson, Joe Sullivan, and Kelly Govin, who guided us through the grant process. Jake from Stone Soup Gardens, who made our vision come to life and helped us with the speech. Miss Roberts, who advised us through this long process and facilitated with the school and district. Sarah Dumlau and Karambir Sangha for managing the grants on our side. Gordon Cook for maintenance, if he's out there. Our previous and current KM assistant principals, our principal. Thank you for the Paradise Parking Pots clue. mainly Tamina Martelli and Lucas McClish, for donating the bioretention mix and PVC piping and always being there for us. And our Kent-Meridian woodworking team for creating and placing our benches and table. The Rainwise crew for designing our sign. And of course, Mayor Ralph and Councilmember Dave Updegrove for speaking and being here today. We want to hand this off to Ms. Roberts, who's going to give a little speech.
I wouldn't say it's a speech. So impact, that's the word that I keep thinking of over and over, because these guys, they graduated, and yet they still have an impact that's going to continue on for years to come. Even while they were at the University of Washington, we had Jake, our contractor, come in, and he was educating our environmental club about rain gardens. They weren't even involved in it, and yet they became part of it. Now that this is finished, I'm hoping to be able to work this into our curriculum, and the best part is the impact that it'll make on the students when they know this was made by a student. This was not adults. Adults, definitely gave us the resources and the knowledge. It was student-led. These two are amazing, and they have touched our community for years to come. So, yay. I'm so excited. So with that said, we are going to cut the ribbon. We're going to have both of them. Of course, it's garden loppers to officially open the KM Rain Garden. Okay, got to open up wide. Okay, just pretend. Just rip it. Just rip it. Pretend it's cut. It's good.
Hey, how come Alicia gets to do it?
Yay! So we'll move the flags and stuff. This is actually meant to be... Oops, sorry, I kicked your thing.
Trash in the rain garden.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to put this down. Just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is actually meant to be walked on. There's a path that you can walk around. We'll get the rest of the streamers out of the way so you can enjoy the rain garden. Over there, there's some refreshments. Please help yourself. And thank you so much for everybody for coming.
Thank you again for coming out here in this unorthodox sunny weather in Washington. Yeah, we actually planned for it to be like storming out here, rain garden, yeah. So that's very unfortunate. Thank you so much for bearing with us. And we do have snacks and tables. We just decided not to charge you guys this time. Please help yourself. We have sandwiches, lots and lots of sandwiches. And yeah, if you guys would like to learn more, please. Ask Mrs. Roberts, Alicia, or I, or any of the club members that might be here.
If you want to learn more, we have a website now. It's kmraingarden.com. So check it out.
Feel free to take pictures, and that should be it from us. Thank you so much.